Hi, my name is Darren Elliott. Thank you for watching this video. In this video, I'm talking about narcissism, where it comes from, and how we work with it together in therapy. Narcissism is not a bad word. The term was invented by Freud to describe the childhood process that all children go through. All children are necessarily focused on their own needs. This benefited our survival. Children think that everything happens in their little world is about them. They perceive with their little eyes and their little ears, and they touch in their senses, and they perceive that their little world revolves around them. This is our earliest understanding emotionally as a human in the world. During this time, we learned that we are loved by the care that our parents showed for our needs. If your needs were not met, with self-focus, you necessarily made this about yourself. You would decide, my father does not feel love for me, therefore I am unlovable. If my mother does not recognize my pain, or if my pain from emotions don't get felt with by another, then I'm not able to release them. Many of us had parents who did not understand their own emotions or had suppressed so much of their own emotions due to traumas. When you stop yourself from feeling painful emotions, you stop yourself from feeling. You might have adapted to your early life situation by becoming a human who does not feel with others. Imagine the poor little child whose mother is treating them with contempt or anger or even vindication. A baby has an open nervous system. They do not have any filters to block this out. Imagine an unwanted pregnancy, for example, a child who will be a huge inconvenience and change everything about the poor girl's life, but she felt like she had to keep him because of whatever convictions. Unwanted babies can feel unwanted. They would have to shut down feeling with this feeling because it's too painful. We need to feel loved. We need to bring it in so we can have it. The complete inability to feel with others is psychopathy. What I'm talking about is less extreme, where for some reason or another, relational traumas, either during childhood or possibly later, you as a human learn to be fine by yourself and not feel with others because others made you feel too much pain. I don't care about her anyway, for example, as a defense for not feeling cared for. This is one way relational trauma is passed from them to you. I want to keep this video short, but to explain that when we have emotional injuries during childhood, often due to emotional neglect by well-meaning parents, maybe who thought that being angry was bad, or that painful emotions should be pushed down with encouragement to feel better, rather than feeling the pain with you first to allow the pain to express and leave the child's body before encouraging them to feel better. If our parent wasn't able to feel with us, then we did not learn to regulate in the way that we evolved to do so. And we will have childhood processes that are stuck. These childhood processes could be things like deciding you're the best at something, no matter what. Having a false sense of security, beyond which is realistic. You needed to have it then. You had no control over your little body. You needed to feel you had control when you did not. If one parent was a little bit unpredictable, for example, so you weren't quite sure how they were going to act, or if they just followed rules, but they can get triggered into an abusive version of themselves. If you're struggling with this disorder of disconnection, it means that you don't quite trust anyone enough to really show exactly what you're feeling about others or what you think they feel about you. There's a fear there that if they know what you're actually thinking or how you actually feel, that they would reject you or that you would be not good enough. This is not true. You are good enough. Vulnerability takes strength. But your program inside of you is that you're not. Probably someone treated you like you were not good enough. And you internalized it and decided it was because you weren't. In fact, you were good enough and you deserved better. But your caretaker or your partner, they did not have it to give. Not sharing your deep and sometimes embarrassing or shameful thoughts and feelings is like living on a desert island. Our thoughts get scrambled and disordered when they're totally alone. We are pack animals. Our brains are designed to get feedback from others about what reality is. Without this feedback, we eventually leave reality. Isolation is torture for humans, and if you are isolating your innermost thoughts, you are torturing yourself. And you need to give yourself the gift of connection to stop that torture. You are living in trauma. Life can be better when you love and trust others. You can't love someone if you don't trust them, which basically means you fear them for some reason. These are old programs that are not serving you anymore. The antidote for this disorder of disconnection is intimacy. I have been working with this disorder of disconnection since the beginning of my therapy journey because it is the family system that I swim in myself. Your self-concept comes a lot from the mirrors of those around you who show you who you are. The way others treat you impacts how you feel about yourself. And we also teach others how to treat us by what we accept and by how we treat them. I practice relational psychotherapy, and I include psychoeducation and coaching with your consent when I perceive they would be of good benefit. I practice an eclectic therapy because my work has always been exploratory and revolving around the human needs of love, belonging, and freedom to be who you are as the three important needs we address together in therapy. Orientation is that most disorders of disconnection are coming from relational traumas, and that with awareness and motivation to change, relational healing is possible. I cannot promise outcomes like any psychotherapist or any mental health provider, but I can say that from my work, I'm extremely optimistic that narcissism is a painful human condition that takes a lot of love and support to emerge from. There's so much unprocessed pain that has not been allowed to be felt because it seemed like pain was too dangerous. Maybe you didn't know the purpose of the pain. You were not taught how to deal with your painful emotions. You were left to deal with them by yourself. That wasn't right. In therapy, we learn to nurture positive emotions, and we learn how to nurture our relationships in more intimate ways than was modeled for us in our family, or that we didn't learn due to suffering emotional neglect. A whole generation was taught not to feel their difficult emotions, or at least to not talk about it. They would say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Sounds like a nice friendly idea, doesn't it? But it is a killer if you apply it to your intimate relationships as well. We need to be seen and understood in our pain, not to keep it to ourselves. We need to share our pain and struggles with others and not just in our journal. Although that's a great place to figure them out if you then share your thoughts from your journal. We need to be felt with. If you did not have people in your life who could feel your pain with you, or who were even the inflictors of pain on you, I hope you might talk to a therapist who understands attachment theory and the importance of love and intimacy for good mental health. Someone who will be in your corner as you find your way to your more authentic, more vulnerable, more connected and loving version of yourself. You cannot fully know yourself until you feel and know that you are accepted by others. And this only comes by showing yourself more fully. In therapy, we practice doing this with the therapist until the confidence feels so that the new, unguarded, more lovely, more friendly version of ourselves can start to emerge in the world, creating stronger, more connected, more loving relationships. In the therapy I practice, we develop what I call love loops. This is by loving others who are able to love us back. This creates a sustainable energy and motivation that does not go away the next time you get triggered. This is where you find new choices and start creating a completely different life of different relationships, one small choice at a time. Learn to self-validate and not need so much validation from others. This is another childhood process where you may need relational guidance, where it was missing before. It's actually more powerful to not need the approval of others and to just feel okay with who you are in the world. It's none of my business what you think about me. You can tell me if you want to share, but it's none of your business what other people are thinking about you. Who cares? They don't define you. But does it feel like they do? You do not need the mirrors of admiration. This is a faulty program. This is a different freedom that you might not even know about yet. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and maybe even hopeful if you haven't heard this accepting approach when it comes to the natural human trauma response of narcissism. If you or someone you know might be suffering from this pain of disconnection, please act on it by reaching for support or by sharing this video. This can be a good way to tell someone that you think you might be suffering from this. If they've shown you this, it's because they care. They want you to have a great life by sharing this little information. Understanding that it's a normal human process. Whatever you're dealing with is a human process you're experiencing. The best you could do in the world you have lived in. Thank you for watching. Hi. If you found this video interesting or useful, please like it and share it so other people can as well. For more information, you can visit my website at www.therapyforhumans.ca. Thank you for watching.